Hey there, so today we have another review. This is a beer from Dogfish Head. I've had this reviewed this like years ago, but check this out again. And this is slightly mighty. So this was canned. Wow, it's not even that dumb fresh. Huh. Oh, no. This is Best By December 2023. Okay, sorry about that. Then how do we do the date? So this is Julian, right? Yeah. So December 2023. So this has another, ideally legs to it, another 4 months. Yeah, 4 months. And then it has a Julian's like 175 space 3. So 175. How do you do this? Let's just round it up to 180. So this is canned about the end of, let's say about the end of June. Yeah, that makes sense, right? If you guys don't know how it works, yeah, Julian's basically like how many days are in the year. So if I round it to 180, that's divisible by 3, because, 3 is divisible by 30. We're rounding 30 days in a month. So it's about 6. So 6 all the way through. So it's the end of June. That makes this can. Wow, this is that fresh? I guess. I thought. I felt like this. Oh, yeah, you know what? That sort of makes sense. I feel like Wow. So pretty much how I got this can. This is a long story. I got to the Publix BOGO, which is like one of the cool things that Florida has. I never was introduced. I never had this in New York. Like the idea that like beer can be 50% off just makes no sense to me. Like think about it, like $6 for a 6-pack of like craft beer. That's crazy, right? But on certain weeks, they change it every week. But certain weeks you find a certain brand or they choose or whatever, and it's just for that week. Everything's buy one get one. So I didn't really take too much advantage of it, but I did get 2 6-packs. So this is one of them. Slightly mighty, low calorie IPA. 4%, so tiny. This is less alcohol than Bud Light, which is 4.2%. And the cool thing about this beer is that it has a bunch of like hops, blah blah blah. But then it uses monk fruit extract, which I believe was derived from China. And then it's actually an interesting fruit in the sense that it is a flavor enhancer. It is able to offer flavors of sweetness without actually adding calories, which is super rare because I guess a lot of people have like aversion to like the chemically made processes of like sweet and low and aspartame and blah 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 blah. But this is quote unquote natural. So using that, and so we're reviewing this about a month and a half fresh. And when I picked this up, I think I picked it up almost a month ago. So this had to be actually canned about like 2 weeks fresh when I picked it up. That's actually pretty insane. What else do we have to say about the beer? Wow, it's crazy. Okay, so if you guys want to know a little bit more about Dogfish Head, they obviously got bought out by Boston Beer Company, but they have production obviously in Milton, Delaware, but they're also brewing Dogfish Head out of Breeningsville, Pennsylvania, Cincinnati, Ohio. Yeah, so there's a couple, I guess, Sam Adams facilities, Boston Beer Company facilities that are producing some Dogfish Head beer. So interesting. First off, my glass was not impeccably clean. Large rocky head, which is actually very ugly. I'm curious why. Did I like clean this with soap or something? Yeah, the head is actually very like rocky and not very attractive. Huh? Yeah, interesting. I've kept them in the fridge the whole time, so it's actually not as aromatic as I'd like. Then again, this is honestly exactly how I think most people run into this beer. Like nobody's actually like, hitting the beer when it hits a shelf as fresh as possible. Because obviously, this beer is lined up with the producer, distributor, and then Publix, where I bought it from the supermarket, to like hit fresh just when it's buy one get one, so that everybody gets it super fresh. Blah blah blah. Most of the time, you're just gonna find beer on the shelf, and it's gonna be sitting on the shelf for X amount of time. And this is about like 1.5 months old. Not super much going on. You get a little bit of hoppiness, a little bit of that kind of like myrcene green thing. A little bit of leafy hop green material, maybe a little bit of touch of like stone fruit. Yeah, a little bit of that. Cheers. The beer's pretty nice. I will say I wasn't blown away because this is one of my last cans. I wasn't blown away when I had fresh, but then again, if you think about it, it's pretty good for 4%. Like up front, you definitely get a satisfying kind of like hoppy kind of thing. Has a little bit of that kind of just, again, the myrcene thing I call is like, I mean, you guys have had IPAs and pale ales before. There's just that like vegetal kind of green character that sort of hits that's a little bit piney. Obviously I talked about it in hazy IPAs, where it's absolutely disgusting when you like amp up the, like we're talking about like when you're putting like too much vegetable material into beer. Here, the vegetable character is actually part of like, you know, the hoppiness and, you know, the hoppiness of just any old random hoppy beer, right? Get a little bit of hop flavor. I will say the beer almost tastes a little bit NA. Has a little bit of this kind of sweet wort kind of flavor, like almost, it's not like almost completely fermented through. But then also part of that sort of reminds you a little bit of like hazy IPA. This beer has a little bit of that kind of like malty oatmeal-y kind of sweetness that hazy IPAs can tend to have. So this actually plays a little bit of a game of like the malt flavor of, again, an NA non-alcoholic beer, but also hazy beer. But again, you're talking about a beer that is under the ABV of Bud Light. Doesn't have any all flavors that I don't like in Bud Light. It's not necessarily watery. It actually has body to it, which actually reminds you, again, of like under attenuated non-alcoholic beer. As you drink it more, you get a little bit of kind of lemon zest character. The hoppiness is not very super aromatic on the nose, but it has a little bit kind of lemon zesty, familiar grapefruity kind of thing. The beer is actually not that bitter at all. Again, reminds you a little bit of like an attempt at a little bit of a hazy, because it has that kind of like hop flavor, a little bit of green character, but like not really pure bitterness and oomph. Then again, what are you going to do with a 4% beer? You can't really like punch it up like a true IPA, right? Super crushable. Maybe not the best example of a can. Maybe I'll try another batch sometime where like you guys post in the comments below if you really like this beer. It's just like a good option for a 4% hoppy beer. I wouldn't go crazy for it. I feel like there's other better options out there, but I will say I do sort of like the category. You know, like you know, as I get older, it's nice to like find options that don't involve like more and more alcohol. You know, try to sprinkle in some NAs there, but NAs, it's like sort of hard to like justify like the lack of flavor and, you know, the quality of the product for something that has like zero alcohol. But like, am I personally going to really get in trouble drinking something that's 2.5, 3.5, 4%? Like, not really. Like, we've been drinking craft beer on the shop for quite a while, and like, that at that low of an alcohol, like, it's hard to really, you know, quote unquote, get there. Like, you know, if you really want to get drunk, you're gonna have a hard time. You're gonna drink a lot of beer and spend a lot of money on on such low alcohol beer. Then again, that's what people do with Bud Light. So I guess, like, you know, they just smash Bud Lights for days. Like, the amount you'd have to actually, you know, drink of that to get anywhere as in intoxication is like pretty hard, at least in my opinion. So yeah, this sort of satisfies a really nice kind of like space where, like, you know, at the end of the night, maybe you don't want to have like a 7% beer. Will the 4% beer really, like, you know, might get you a light buzz, but like, you know, maybe that's all you're looking for, and that's it. You know, it's low calorie. This thing's under 100 calories, so 95 calories. Then again, people always are concerned about calories. Listen, you're not going to get anywhere with calories. Like, alcohol is the calories. Like, you know, you're not really winning a battle by choosing what you're drinking. Like, just don't have alcohol if you're really worried about the calories, right? As for rating, let's go with the solid 80. I mean, I like the idea of it, like utility, but like it's not something I'm really going to seek for low ABV. Definitely more flavorful options in my opinion. So, yeah, it's good. 84. That's a very solid rating. Nothing crazy. Again, high utility. And they call it an IPA. They call it literally IPA brewed with monk fruit extract. Interesting, 4%. Cheers. Let me know what you think about this. And then on the bigger picture thing, post the comments below about your attack on like or your approach to lower ABV, non-alcoholic. What are you guys doing during the week to like really help yourself later? I'll stay a little bit more health conscious. Yeah. Cheers. 84 later.